Gombe, get a noma. Gombe, get a masarade, get a noma. Gombe.
Maraba da zuwa sakon fari zamanin GIG-ARP. GIG-ARP, Grown-In-Gombe Agricultural Revolutionary Program. GIG-ARP, gidan noma, gidan abinci, gidan yawanci. GIG-ARP.
Gombe State, known to be richly endowed with natural gifts and popularly termed as the jewel in the savannah, has the potential to become the indisputable food basket of the nation. The economy of the state largely revolves around agrarian activities, as over 70% of the population relies on agriculture as a primary source of employment, income generation, development, and food security. Within the state, agriculture engages well over 80% of the state's active population, and there is a wide range of agricultural enterprises within the crop, livestock, and fishery subsectors, involving mainly small-scale producers and the relatively fewer medium and large-scale farmers. It is estimated that 65% of the total land area of the state is cultivatable. However, despite these realities, the available data on production generally indicates low output and average yields, and in comparison with the international and national indicators, agricultural productivity in Gombe State is generally low. This can be attributed to several challenges within the agri sector, such as outdated and ineffectual agronomic practices, lack of sufficient application of modern technology, grossly inadequate investment and financing, insufficient support for SMEs, lack of sufficient technical infrastructure for modern farming requirements, inadequate adaptation and implementation of policies, underutilization and inaccurate utilization of land, severe deficiency in available data for strategic planning and program implementation, undertrained workforce and insufficient education and research facilities, insufficient synergy between various players in the agro sector, lack of a common vision and strategy to integrate the agro sector players, inadequate remedies for climatic and other ecological disruptive factors, inadequate mechanism for revenue generation and strategic allocation. Some of the important aspects of agriculture that need increased attention in the state are agricultural value chain and commodity cluster development, counterpart funding support to government intervention programs, and agricultural research extension linkages. Having realized the enormous agricultural potentials of the state government has emphasized the necessity of implementing strategies and actions with the aim of achieving the goals of developing a production-driven economy, stimulating of job and wealth creation and increasing the rate of employment within the state, achieving a sustainable and inclusive economic and social growth, rapidly developing the state's agricultural sector, establishing and maintaining high standard, good quality living for its people. Therefore, it is crucial and urgent to reform and upgrade the agricultural sector through a novel transformative initiative that will greatly improve the level of agricultural production, the economic development of the state, and the well-being of its citizens. What is the Grown-In-Gombe Agriculture Revolution Program, GIG-ARP? GIG-ARP is the initiative from the state government that would execute the agricultural and economic revolution of Gombe State through the 2020s. Therefore, The GIG-ARP initiative organizes, synergizes, consolidates, and amplifies the various resources, initiatives, potentials, and participants in the Gombe State agricultural sector towards the fulfillment of a giant leap in performance of the sector and the economy as a whole through the 2020 decade. The GIG-ARP initiative aims to invest in the agricultural sector, making it the main driver of the Gombe State Economic Recovery Plan and thereby creating jobs and employment for men, women, and youth along the value chain. In order to achieve this, the drive of the GIG-ARP initiative aims to restore the lost glory of agriculture in Gombe State, adopt commodity value chain approach in the development of the agricultural sector, establish and rehabilitate critical infrastructures for agricultural development in Gombe State, attract investors and industrialists to agriculture in Gombe State, enhance the skills of farmers and other agri stakeholders through the development of agribusiness, processing, marketing, and the promotion of youth entrepreneurship. Some of the plans that will help achieve the vision and mission of GIG-ARP include the development, rehabilitation, and upgrade of statewide model farm service centers with equipment, structure, and capacity compatible with 21st century standards, the development and administration of a comprehensive e-governance system to provide a revolutionary, effective, and efficient upgrade to the administration of the agriculture sector based on international best practices for management, and large-scale data analytics for strategic intelligence and first-class service delivery. Execution of focused and impactful capacity building schemes aimed at improving select parts of the public and private sector and enhancing agro-productivity, the implementation of a large-scale multi-layered public orientation campaign aimed at boosting sector enthusiasm and confidence in the agro-revolution and achieving stakeholder buy-in and cooperation with the government initiatives, the promotion of the state government agro programs to external partners inside and outside Nigeria, both in the public and private sector, in order to improve, increase, and accurately adapt their investment and collaboration in the states. To provide independent, diligent, wide and accurate monitoring and evaluation of agro-sector activities as advisory strategic intelligence to the state leadership in order to support policy assessment, administrative compliance, and operational flexibility. To develop and recommend strategies and activities to optimize the system for collaborating with the various agencies and players in the agriculture space to achieve synergy, reduce waste and redundancy, and create positive and large multiplier effects in the use of resources and agency mandates. To assist in developing and providing select private sector support systems like farmer and trade technical support, SME business advisory, virtual commodity marketplaces, financing agents, industry news and information service, public complaints office, and others. To support and facilitate new systems for the availing of mechanized farming tools and techniques for farmers. In order to achieve its mission and strategic objectives, GIG-ARP consists of different components working together. These components are Gombe E-Agro Management Information System, Mechanized Farming and Farming Equipment Leasing System, Communications and Orientation Plan, Capacity Building, Model Farm Service Center, and the GIG-ARP Office. The Model Farm Service Center is a one-stop shop designed to bridge the gap between farmers and other agri stakeholders while providing quality agricultural inputs and services to enable farmers move from a subsistence farming system to a commercially oriented one by facilitating access to better inputs, knowledge, and tools. The Farm Service Center will be set up to handle up to 2,000 registered farmers in the nearby environment, a huge increase from the 500 capacity of the current farm service centers. The model farm service centers will facilitate access to better farm inputs, enhance knowledge on agro-products and services, serve as a connecting system between the government, agro-businesses, agro-product dealers, and farmers. Examples of the proposed services to be provided by the Model Farm Service Centers include General Agro Extension Services, Agro Inputs, Equipment Hiring Services, Market Linkages and other stakeholder management coordination, Training of farmers and agripreneurs, Data generation, Agri-policy guidance and advisory, Industry information communications and public enlightenment services, Land management advice, and farmers registration. This image shows stakeholder partners such as government and public sector, civil society group and cooperative, and private sector agro dealers and businesses working through the Model Farm Service Centers to empower farmers to engage in market-driven agricultural economies. This model version increases farm service centers' capability to include IT-based account management, which is a more efficient way to adequately manage large amounts of accounting information, storing the data in a centralized system to allow for access from any location, accurate bookkeeping and accounting processes, and ease of monitoring and evaluation from multiple locations, better quality advisory services, better quality support services, which includes providing farmers and users with easy access to better quality inputs and services guaranteed to improve agricultural activities. The Model Farm Service Center, using big data analytics, will help to develop and collate data for the policy and planning purposes by the state leadership. The Model Farm Service Center will have a cluster-oriented customer management strategy, which allows a farm service center to cater to up to tens of thousands indirect beneficiaries. This is because the Farm Service Center builds relationships that extend beyond farmers to trade unions, processors, and other participants within the agriculture sector, and also gather data from those participants. GIAMIS is an integrated information technology system for all stakeholders within the agriculture sector that will be used in efficiently addressing a variety of requirements while helping minimize the duplication of data and ensuring consistency and integrity. One of the globally accepted approaches to developing the agriculture sector is precision agriculture, which is an approach to farm management that uses information technology to ensure that crops and soil receive exactly what they need for optimum health and productivity. GIAMIS incorporates the principle and processes of precision agriculture to achieve maximum results. GIAMIS offers strong potentials for driving economic growth and increasing incomes through an increased efficiency of agricultural production, leading to improved livelihoods and value chain development of the sector. It will play an important role in addressing some of agriculture's most pressing challenges of the state, which include access to finance with technical support, climate factors, high individual risk, and inefficient supply chains. Examples of some solutions GIAMIS would help provide to the various government and non-government participants in the sector include data analytics for multiple government use, data for partner participation, sector-wide supply chain management for public and private partners' activities, improved intra-government coordination, strategic intelligence for decision-making and other purposes, accurate and effective communication between farmers and the government on various issues, a platform for support for various cadres of private businesses, management of farm inputs and commercial agri-trade systems, a robust platform for revenue generation for the state. Some of the key features of GIAMs aimed towards precision agriculture are big data analytics and drone usage. Big data analytics involves the capturing of relevant data from the huge number of sources, collecting it and translating the results into actionable information to improve processes and solve problems on a large scale with speed. Big data analytics examines large amounts of data to uncover hidden patterns, correlations, and other insights. Major advantage of using big data analytics in the GIAMs is that legacy strategies and data-driven solutions can be combined to create one of the most effective, successful systems for developing the agriculture sector of Gombe State. For example, big data analytics system can be used to identify correlation between farm field, weather, and commodity data for optimal irrigation, fertilization, and harvesting of crops, and optimal feeding and shipping of livestock to the market. Organize more timely scheduling and maintenance of equipment, and the minimization of energy usage to enable greater operational efficiency. Ascertain predictive analytics and anticipate the demand for seeds, fertilizer, and animal feed, and enable the agro supplier to take appropriate steps to match production to demand. Better predict pricing changes towards the proactive allocation of supplies. Stage of data analytics is data collection. These can be gotten from primary sources or providers of information, such as farmers, agribusinesses, farm service centers, and the government. There are different kinds of information that can be collected from these sources, such as soil data, financial data, and market statistics using different tools. After the data has been collected, it is analyzed and interpreted using big data analytics principles, after which it is converted into useful information that can be employed by various players in the sector for decision and planning processes. This will ultimately lead to several benefits such as improved yield, wider industry knowledge base, among others. This system is implemented by the Gombe Agro Management Information System. The use of agricultural drones form the backbone of the field of precision agriculture. Drone-based systems have the potential to transform the state's agriculture sector by providing real-time actionable data across several parameters such as land, crop, and livestock, which would help maximize input efficiency, minimize environmental impacts, optimize product quality, and minimize risks. In addition, their smaller size, quick deployment, and dropping costs make them ideal for a growing list of areas. Drone-based systems can be applied in many ways, such as crop production. Data collected through drones provide a wealth of raw data to activate analytical models for agriculture. In supporting precision farming, drones can do soil health scans, monitor crop health, assist in planning irrigation schedules, apply fertilizers, estimate yield data, among others. Data collected through drones, combined with other data sources and analytic solutions, help provide actionable information. Disaster risk reduction. Data collected by drones can be fed into modeling systems with analytics capabilities that then provide valuable insights on situations or happenings. Such information can provide rural communities with high-quality, reliable advice and can assist the government in better planning disaster relief and response services. Landscape mapping. Hundreds of pictures taken by drones are stitched together to large and high-resolution automaps, which can then be integrated into GIS systems and used for analysis, planning, and management. Additionally, Information provided by drones can be used to secure land rights to farmers by mapping farm boundaries and enhancing agricultural research, livestock monitoring. Drones fitted with high-definition thermal cameras are also used to track, inspect, and monitor livestock remotely. Drones can keep an eye on the cattle as it grazes on pastures, and using thermal sensor technology, drones can find lost cattle, detect injured or sick animals, and calculate the exact number of livestock within an area. Some of the proposed tools for the GIAMIS IT infrastructure include web portal, GIS data equipment management, biometric data capture, and data bank. Mechanized farming and equipment leasing management system. This is a system to handle the management of the procurement and provision of small portable-sized, cost-efficient machines made available to farmers, land users, and businesses on lease. The efficient mechanized farming and equipment leasing management system would augment farming practices with the intention of boosting productivity by up to 4 to 5-fold, given the same amount of labor. Agricultural activities that still depend on these basic tools can only produce at a subsistence level, leaving much of the sector unexploited and ineffectively managed or utilized. Development of mechanized farming system, in addition to improving production efficiency, would encourage large-scale production and improve the quality of the farm produce. Examples of equipment that will be acquired include tractors, harvesters, planters, threshers, sprayers, among others. There are many smaller size equipment which are modern and highly efficient. These are much cheaper than the heavy-duty machines, and their lower cost and size means that they can easily be accessed by many local farmers. These machines and equipment are also easy to operate and maintain, and their spare parts are readily available. The program will acquire certain machines such as tillers, planters, threshers, among others, make them available at the farm centers, develop relationship with the farmers and their unions for acquisition, lease or sale, assess the performance of the machines, and use the result of the evaluation to provide industry-wide guidance and advisory services regarding the use of the machines, selection of machines, as well as the direction of additional support from the state. Small-sized, low-cost equipment are procured and housed at the farm service centers. The farm service centers act as points of sale or leasing of the equipment. Processes of monitoring and assessing the use of the equipment is also carried out from the centers, and then the received feedback from users given at or through the farm centers can be used to provide advice or guidance concerning mechanized farming matters such as selection of machinery and function of equipment. Communication and orientation plan. This component integrates diverse tools and methods that will be used in sensitizing, educating, and equipping various agriculture sector players in the state. The Communication and Orientation Program will help align all relevant participants, boost public confidence, encourage cooperation and compliance with policy goals. Encouraging the public is a crucial part of the initiative, and as such, there is a need to engage them through various public information fora, which may include radio infomercials, public lectures, news, and other expository information through mass media like documentaries, stakeholder conferences, and technical sensitization campaigns for specific industries. Some of the public enlightenment and capacity building tools to be employed include radio and TV programs, industry newsletter, workshops and seminars, and promotional events. Examples of the players are farmers, traders, unemployed youth, and investors, while the examples of messages that will be sent out include capacity building resources, information on available services and infrastructure, networking opportunities, government policies, industry trends, and government intervention programs. This image shows the various categories of agro-sector players, the kinds of information that can be disseminated to them, and the media through which the information will be distributed. GIG-ARP, through its capacity building system, will target a principal group or category and develop them, enabling them to be active stimulating agents driving the agenda of the program. This would include different classes of people such as 1,000 to 2,000 skilled labor in the agro sector, 20,000 farmers and land users, 500 civil servants and government officials. How the capacity building system would work. The targeted principal group, mainly agripreneurs, are developed and trained in order to help fill various communication gaps in the value chain of the agriculture sector. After being trained and engaged, a work relationship will be developed with the government to financially incentivize these people so that they are motivated to promote and propagate the products and services of the GIG-ARP. This will translate to engaging with various stakeholders such as investors, the general public, and farmers, spreading awareness and convincing them to participate and buy into GIG-ARP. These engagements will include activities such as connecting the masses to the entrepreneur development institutions, meeting farmers to convince them to sign up to the government's GIG-ARP initiative, meeting clusters of farmers to inform and encourage them to partake in different government intervention programs, and so on. The activities of this principal group is expected to result in a self-stimulating agro-development system, as the agropreneurs realize that there is more to earn with a growing agro-commerce environment and are thus motivated to proactively promote GIG-ARP and its initiatives. The result of the action and activities from this principal group is expected to place a demand on the agriculture sector and system to grow and develop in order to accommodate the growing interest and engagement in the agriculture sector of the state. Benefits of employing this capacity building system are: the actions and activities of the agropreneur group are expected to support the agro-extension services, employing a very cost-efficient system without requiring the need to employ an expensive specialized team. It is a very effective system of selecting and training a target group of people, engaging and motivating them through financial incentives to aggressively propagate the agenda of GIG-ARP by creating solutions. Using this system, it is expected that the principal target group, agropreneurs, would influence between 15,000 to 20,000 farmers within a year of their activities. System would help in creating more job opportunities for participants. For example, when the agripreneur class has been built, it will become an attractive avenue for investors with large-scale agriculture projects to employ the available skilled personnel rather than carry out new searches. The income earned from the agripreneur group would prospectively result to a 1 to 3 billion increment in the GDP of the state. When the different target categories of the capacity building system are taught and equipped with the right skills and competencies, the intended impact per category have been shown in the image. This is the implementing body of the broad aspect of GIG-ARP. The fundamental role of the GIG-ARP office is to ensure the achievement of the government's policy goals, as well as the effective and efficient application of resources in the sector. The functions of the GIG-ARP office include to develop a detailed blueprint for the 4-year implementation of the GIG-ARP plan, provide strategic intelligence for the Office of the Governor for all levels of policy and planning regarding GIG-ARP, to apply private sector resources and strategies to support the optimal management of agriculture initiatives, to represent and acquire additional resources, especially investment funding from external players in the agricultural space for the benefits of the state from development agencies such as USAID, foreign-based stakeholders, and academic institutions in the United States like the University of Maryland and Columbia University. Monitor and advise on structural and procedural improvements and corrections of the GIG-ARP elements and other elements of the agriculture space. Study and recommend alternative models and strategies for agricultural development and administration adopted from other environments like foreign countries. To incubate and administer the numerous innovations required by the GIG-ARP project. To develop and adapt appropriate large-scale e-governance infrastructure to enhance and modernize the Gombe State agricultural sector. To execute a large-scale public enlightenment and orientation program to maximize participation in GIG-ARP, especially towards increasing employment in agriculture and cooperation by the public with GIG-ARP initiatives. The GIG-ARP office reports to the Office of the Governor while collaborating and sharing information with the ADP in order to properly relate with the various ministries of the state, including the Ministry of Budget and Finance, Ministry of Agriculture, and other ministries and parastatals. The GIG-ARP office also relates with federal government agencies, private investors, as well as the academic community, especially universities, in order to exploit all available opportunities to properly execute the project goals and objectives. These goals and objectives will be implemented through the various GIG-ARP components, which are the Model Farm Service Centers, the Mechanized Farming Equipment and Leasing Management Systems, the Agro-Governance Systems, SME Clinics, and the Communication Plan. The ADP office would facilitate required key intervention programs in the state, such as the rehabilitation of fertilizer blending plants, the rehabilitation of irrigation schemes, and the establishment of standard soil laboratory in the states. The functions of each of the GIG-ARP components work together towards achieving the grand vision of the initiative. By providing a broad system for the acquisition of large amounts of external investment, facilitating the upgrading of the human resource segment, improving productivity, providing effective institutions for maximizing stakeholder activity and farmer support in all geographical areas, facilitating the compliance gaining, alignment, and two-way engagement between the public and the government, and providing e-governance infrastructure and support for the sophisticated and effective management of the agriculture sector through the GIG-ARP components. The initiative will
Maraba da zuwa sabon fari zamanin GIG-ARP. GIG-ARP, Grown-In-Gombe Agricultural Revolution Program. GIG-ARP, gidan noma gidan abinci.
By implementing the components of the GIG-ARP initiative as vehicles in achieving the strategic objectives, the macroeconomic benefits to be enjoyed covers a wide range, including GDP growth, employment, increased agro-production capacity, boost in external investment, economic development, trade opportunities, increased internally generated revenue, improved agri-infrastructure, and capacity building. These can be specifically seen in an addition and upgrading of the agriculture workforce by more than 500,000 workers, reducing unemployment and underemployment, an increase in the successful production and trade of key cash crops including rice, tomato, maize, cowpea, and fishery, among others, by a 2 to 4-fold increment, a boost in agro-related statewide GDP by over 25 billion naira, the creation of an attractive investor-friendly environment for external investment, leading to an increase in the investment in agriculture of over 10 billion naira, the stimulation of a statewide evolution from the subsistence and outdated model towards large-scale precision agriculture with its multiplier effect in productivity, with a possibility of a 20 to 30-fold increment over the next decade, the realigning and adaptation of the government's statewide structure and policies towards this vision, a boost in the employment numbers and the promotion of enthusiasm among the citizenry to sustain the tempo in growth as well as provide support structures, an increase in government internally generated revenue via agriculture of over 5 billion naira, an expanded market size and geographical market reach of the Gombe State agricultural produce, making Gombe State a breadbasket for the country and possibly in West Africa. The provision of a strong structural foundation for various levels of involvement by external partners to the state through the use of e-agriculture. The development of effective models for the increase of internally generated revenue for the state, and the incentivization of private sector participants to maximize the opportunities provided by the state, the promotion of various levels of relevant agriculture education. Given the goals and expected deliverables of the entire GIG-ARP project, whose effects are going to be felt over the coming years, it becomes paramount to develop and build the right foundation upon which the activities of the project can stand and yield the expected results. Phase 1 describes the plan for developing the right foundation, as well as sets major and fundamental aspects of the project running, encompassing the agenda that should be carried out this year. Below is an outline for the phase and the main deliverables. The main deliverables for Phase 1 includes the creation of 3 zonal model farm service centers and 10 area service centers, the setup of the GIG-ARP office and the related offices which would be actively engaging all the agencies and continuously working towards the development and rollout of the blueprint as well as the partner coordination initiative, the setup of the back end of the e-governance structure with parts being in operation at the Farm Service Center, database at the headquarters, and the website, so that what is left is a replication of tools at several points. It will be adapted such that the government gets real-time accurate data for policy planning and strategic decision-making. The setup of the internally generated revenue systems, including the collection of levies, fees, and taxes that are expected to occur as a result of the increase in production and other related activities of the sector. The setup of the mechanism for stakeholder acquisition and federal and foreign partner investment, large amounts of public enlightenment with a massive rollout campaign element, the measuring of feedback as well as the adaptation of results, the creation of the SME business clinics in partnership with academic communities such as universities and other training groups and institutions, and the acquisition of mechanized farming tools and the setup of the leasing management structure. The agricultural sector plays a strategic role in the process of economic development of any area. It has already made a significant contribution to the economic prosperity of advanced countries, and its role in the economic development of less developed countries is of vital importance. In the history of England is clear evidence that agricultural revolution preceded the Industrial Revolution there. Also, in the United States of America and in Japan, agricultural development has helped to a greater extent in the process of their industrialization. On the path of achieving the state government's vision for Gombe State, it is evident that a proper and strategic investment in the revolution and development of the agriculture sector of the state is a paramount step. The GIG-ARP initiative will be the vehicle ushering in that move that would ensure that Gombe State hits its vision within the decade.
Gombe, get a nova, get a nova. Gombe, get a Maserati, get a nova. Gombe,
Maraba da zuwa sabon fari zamanin GIG-ARP. GIG-ARP, Grown-In-Gombe Agricultural Revolutionary Program. GIG-ARP, gidan noma, gidan abinci, gidan yawanci. GIG-ARP, babu zaman banza, ku zo mu haɗa hannun mu ba matasa aiki tare da GIG-ARP. Ku zo mu zama da jihar Gombe gari mai mahimmanci, gari mai girma, gari mai daraja tare da GIG-ARP. Ku zo mu koron yiwa a Gombe da GIG-ARP. GIG-ARP, barka da zuwa sabuwar zamani wadata da arziki da GIG-ARP. GIG-ARP,
tare za mu mai Gombe, gidan noma, gidan abinci, gidan noma, gidan yawanci, gidan masara ne, gidan noma, gidan abinci, gidan shinkafa ne, gidan noma, gidan yawanci, gidan noma, gidan noma, gidan yawanci, gidan masara ne, gidan noma, gidan abinci, gidan shinkafa, gidan bayarwa a Gombe, gidan abinci ne, gidan noma, Gombe, tare za mu kai Gombe, Gombe, tare za mu kai Gombe, gidan yawanci.
Grown-In-Gombe Agricultural Revolution Program. GIG-ARP.
Gombe.